Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast Special Edition Series where I preview and predict every men's college basketball conference tournament. This is the 21st of 31 episodes in the series, and now up is the Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament, which will begin on Wednesday, March 10th with the quarterfinal rounds, as well as Thursday, March 11th. The semifinals will be Friday, March 12th, and the championship game will be Saturday, March 13th. So, without further ado, here are my predictions for the 2021 SWAC tournament. All right, first up, 7-seeded Arkansas Pine Bluff against 2-seeded Jackson State. Pine Bluff on the year 4-20 overall, 3-12 in conference play. Jackson State 11-5 overall, 11-0 in conference play. My projections: Jackson State by a whopping 21 and a total 132.5. Therefore, Jackson State obviously to the semis. The second of four quarterfinal games in the SWAC tournament, 8-seeded Mississippi Valley State against 1-seeded Prairie View. Mississippi Valley State 2-21 overall, 2-13 in conference play. Prairie View A&M 14-4 overall, 13-0 in conference play. My projection is Prairie View by 24, total 139. Therefore, Prairie View obviously to the semifinals. Day 2 of the quarterfinals, Thursday, March 11th, the first of two games on that date. You have it 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 2 o'clock Central. Now it's the time of the Jackson State Arkansas Pine Bluff game from Wednesday, March 10th. So Thursday, March 11th, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 6-seeded Alcorn State against 3-seeded Texas Southern. Alcorn 6-12 overall, 6-7 in conference play. Texas Southern 13-8 overall, 10-3 in conference play. My projection is Texas Southern by 11.5, total 130 or 143. Therefore, Southern onto the semifinals. And the last of four quarterfinal games, and the second of two on Thursday, March 11th. This one's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And by the way, Prairie View and Valley State, the same time differences of this game I'm about to talk about. 5-seeded Southern against 4-seeded Grambling. Southern 8-10 overall, 8-6 in conference play. Grambling 11-11 overall, 9-6 in conference play. My projection is a pick'em, total 138.5. This was like a dead pick'em, so my tiebreaker differential is my ratings, and Southern is higher in my ratings than Grambling, and the total is 138.5. So therefore, I have Southern into the semifinals. Semifinals Friday, March 12th, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You got 2-seeded Jackson State against 3-seeded Texas Southern. My projection for this is also a pick'em, and as I've been saying this the other podcasts in the series, totals are harder to project than lines in terms of future projections. So this is a pick'em, and then the slight edge was Texas Southern. It was like 0.125. So Texas Southern I have advancing to the championship. And the last of the two semifinal games, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, March 12th. 5-seeded Southern against 1-seeded Prairie View. And my line is Prairie View by 5.5. Therefore, Prairie View to the championship game. And now the championship game, Saturday, March 13th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU. You got Texas Southern against Prairie View. This is an interesting matchup. The team that's highest in my ratings against the team that is the one seed in this tournament. Prairie View this year has been pretty deep and well-rounded, led by Jawan Daniels. And on the other side with Texas Southern, they are led by Michael Weathers. My projection here is Prairie View by a half. So therefore, my pick to be the 2021 Southwestern Athletic Conference champion, Prairie View A&M, as I have them making their way to the big dance, the Prairie View A&M Panthers. All right, so there you have it for the SWAC tournament. Next up will be the Pac-12 tournament, so that should be a fun one to do.